come and talk to. I first found out about Gary, one of my friends that's an assistant football coach with me, that told me, hey, you got to check this out, this Facebook thing. This guy's got a powerful story and even more powerful message. So I watched it, and then I continued to watch it, and I continued to watch it, and I told my wife, I said, hey, I don't want to be the guy that just presses click and shares it with everybody. I wanted this guy to get out in the community. And so I started thinking to myself what I could do as far as a coach, as some young men, to get this man's character out, this man's courage is out. And so I thought about, giving him a holler, but I kind of scared. I'm like, I don't want to talk to this. He doesn't even know who I am. It's going to be tough. So what does a law enforcement guy do that's got nothing better to do? He starts vetting the person that he's looking at. So what I do, I start doing a couple clicks. The next thing I know, God's tapped me on the shoulder and saying, hey, this is more than just a coincidence. And I found out he had a nephew on the Roughnecks. So I made some phone calls to him, emails, texts, and comes out to what today is. And I want you guys to give a hand as I introduce Mr. Gary Hire.
Thank you. So this is my nephew right here, Damian, my man. Yeah, so your coach reached out to me and wanted me to come out here and introduce myself to you guys and share a little message with you to kind of give you something to shoot for this year. Let me ask you a couple questions first though. You guys all love baseball obviously, right? You guys want to play baseball in high school? Yeah? You guys want to play baseball in college? Maybe even, pursue it further than that and get to the pro level if you guys could do it? Is that like a dream that you guys would want to do? Like if you're gonna dream big, you gotta dream big, right? Maybe even if baseball isn't the thing, maybe own a business someday or some of the big things that you want to do. Get married, have a family of your own, big decisions and big life things, right? So you guys are very passionate about baseball, and I was actually in your shoes one day too. I was a baseball player. My dad coached my team with my grandpa growing up, and we had a blast, man. It was a lot of fun. Learned a lot, made a lot of friends like you guys are making right now. Some come, some go, some stick around, some you'll be playing with in high school and stuff like that. Some you might even go through the college ranks with, you never know. I mean, you're building relationships, but you're playing a game that you love and you're going to school, you're doing your thing. So I was doing the same thing, and I had a lot of big dreams too. Things were going pretty good for me. I saw some success at your guys' level. I was playing All-Stars. This is Pony, right? So did you guys ever play like Little League? Little League was my thing. That's what we did back in the day, was Little League, and we did the Tournament of Champions. So like the first and second place teams would go to the Tournament of Champions, and you play the rival cities and stuff like that. So we did that quite often, right? We made our way to the top ranks of our leagues and in the city, and we had a lot of fun. And then that carried into high school as well, and we saw some success there. And I started playing with other guys in other leagues around me, and bringing it, and the top of the top is keep rising there and making these teams, right? And then you see success there, and that's fun. And you're like, man, I made it. I made the high school team. This is really cool. The girls start paying attention to you, and all these really cool things are happening, right? And then time to make some decisions. What am I going to do? I'm going to go to college. College is cool. I want to play baseball. So you start, maybe some recruits are looking at you. In high school, on the baseball field, I had professional teams looking at me to come play for their organization, the Indians. Oh God, it's been 20 years, 25 years, so I don't remember all the names, but there was quite a few pro scouts coming out. And during that high school time, God granted me height, and I grew very fast over a summer in high school. And I took up basketball, and I fell in love with basketball. So I started pursuing that and going crazy, playing every single day in my front yard, at the parks, at the school, you name it. I was picking up a ball and playing, because that's what I love to do. Probably just the same way you guys love playing sports, right? So I pursued that. Got into a junior college that summer after my senior year of high school, and made the team, and was going to be a starter on that team. It was looking pretty good, playing with guys all over Southern California, and that's kind of the ranking that you go up to, maybe get to the Division I level. So I was very stoked, and 2 weeks before the season, my knee blew out. I had a disease in my knee that I developed during my freshman to senior year, or freshman to sophomore year transition. I grew really fast. I grew almost a foot over the summer. My freshman year, I was the smallest guy on my football team. My sophomore year, I was one of the tallest guys in my class. So I grew really fast, I developed this disease, and as a result of that, I had to have multiple surgeries, and it sidelined me, and they told me that I probably wouldn't be able to play basketball again. So that was pretty heartbreaking for me, and I was going through rehab through the college, and it just was too difficult. And I quit, and I said, you know, I'm just gonna hang them up. It's not for me. I'm gonna, you know, go get a job somewhere and maybe go to school, maybe not, just hang out with my friends, and that's what my life consisted of at that point. So I was pretty depressed about not being able to play again. Well, that didn't hold me back because we started playing at the parks when my knee started feeling better and the game started picking back up and the love for the sport started pulling at me again. And then I met my wife over here that's standing there. I met her at that time, figured I better start getting my life together. And so I called my old college coach back and figured I'd give it another try, and he brought me back and with open arms, and ended up playing 2 years there and then earning 2 full ride scholarships my junior and my senior year to play at a very high level in college. And then at the end of my senior year is when my knee really gave out and I had to call it quits at that point. Again, having some pro scouts looking at me at that time was a lot of fun, and you know, playing at some high levels. I got a full ride to go play in Hawaii. So living on an island in paradise and getting your school paid for to go be, you know, this basketball star and big man on campus is pretty cool stuff, and it's something that you guys are dreaming to do, right? And then, you know, after college, ended up marrying my high school sweetheart, and then that was like a huge day. Like, I got married, that's cool. Had a career going, thought things were really great, everything was going great, and then we had a baby. And that was the biggest thing, right? So let me take it back, because I just wanted to relate to you guys that we were all the same person, right? And I went through this life, and every single step of the way, I thought that was my defining moment. I made the high school team. I'm the star on that high school team. I got pro scouts looking at me, right? Those are pinnacle, those are big, big things in life that you say, man, I've done it. Like, that's it. Well, what's next? I was 18. There's a long life ahead of me. You guys are what, 13, 14 years old? Got a lot of growing to do. You don't know where life's going to take you. You're just going to go through it, and you're going to work hard every day. And that's what I did during that time. My point is that you never know what's going to come at you, right? You never know what's going to come tomorrow. You never know what opportunities are going to come along. I've had a lot of opportunities come, and that was because of hard work, dedication, being a coachable kid, and all that stuff, and learning the way to play the game and to respect my coaches, and that's what got me those different things. But that none of those things define me, right? And now I own a couple businesses. I just quit my career a couple months ago to go full-time in my businesses. And then 3 days before Christmas, I found out that I have cancer. Okay, so that's kind of where this inspiration thing that came in from Jason is that I've been telling this story, and you know, it's pretty heartbreaking to find out that you have cancer. Everybody knows what cancer is, right? Okay, so it's a pretty scary thing. It's something that, you know, can take somebody's life, but it's also something that is very treatable these days. So we're staying very positive, and we got a great team of doctors. But I've chosen not to let this define me either. Okay, cancer's not gonna be who I am. It's not gonna dictate my life. It's gonna be part of my story that I'm gonna tell to my kids, maybe your kids down the road. It'll be a story that has built character, and every part of those things in life, the high school teams, the little league teams, the friendships that I built in all those situations, and the businesses and the different things and the different things of life that I just shared with you guys that happened to me are all things that happen and are part of my life but did not dictate my life, and neither will cancer. And what I'm telling you this, guys, is because every day is an opportunity to do something special. And if you love something, go for it. If you want to be something, you can be whatever you want, but you have to work hard. You have to be coachable. You have to be somebody that your coaches will trust to put in tough situations, because later in life, when it comes down to being married and having to make decisions and having kids and being able to lead and stuff like that and lead by example, those are tough things. And all of this stuff that you're doing right now is building character and being coachable, so you can then coach other people down the road. So this year, Jason, your coach, has reached out to me, and he said he was intrigued by my story. I've been posting some stuff online, and he brought me out here. He said that he kind of wanted to dedicate this season with you guys to my story and to my journey, because we're fighting, and through this season I will be fighting. Tomorrow I go for another round of chemo, and we're going to continue to battle this. but you guys are going to battle out on the field. And we've got stickers that go on your brand new helmets, and my thing is higher power, because I believe in the higher power, and I feel like my last name is higher, and I'm playing this game with power right now, and I want you guys to play with power. But I want you to respect the game, and I want you to do it in a way that, knowing that you're not bigger than the game, and you're not bigger than any one person on this team, and you're definitely not bigger than your coaches or your parents. So you guys need to be coachable and respectful, so you can go out there and do a good job on the field. And don't worry about wins or losses, because at the end of the day, the championship that you guys are going to win this season, after you guys go out there and kick butt, doesn't really mean everything into the biggest scheme, the big picture of life. Okay, so get out there and play hard, and understand that life always doesn't give you exactly what you're asking for, but it'll give you exactly what you need, and sometimes those are hard lessons. So just be willing to understand that you're going to win some and you're going to lose some. But just because you're losing some doesn't mean that you've lost the battle or you've lost in life. Just continue to keep plugging through, and continue to try to outdistance yourself and to set new goals, and always try and attain those. And one of those goals right now this season is to be a winning team and to go out there and work your best. But just because you get a win or a loss, that doesn't define who you guys are as players, and it doesn't define who you guys are as people. Okay? So use my story as inspiration. And then, you know, I also turn that to the parents as well, is that, you know, this is a big responsibility raising kids. You know, these guys are very vulnerable, right? They go out into schools and they have a lot of social influences. Influence is crazy, right? And we're the biggest one, and we need to stay on top of that. So let's lead by example. One of the biggest pet peeves that I have, I was always the guy that talked to the refs, right, when I was playing, but I was also a captain, and I did it in a way to try and build a friendship with those guys, because I knew that wasn't the last game I was going to see that guy. I was always going to see him again. So let's lead by example and encourage these guys to do the right thing out on the field, and not worry about what the refs' bad calls are or what the other teams are doing. Let's show them what sportsmanship is about and what leadership is all about, and let's, you know, worry about these guys' character for the long run, because that's what it really is all about. It's not about this season or tonight's win or tomorrow's loss or whatever that is. All right, so let's bring it in real quick, because we're going to bring it in, and we're going to do a 1, 2, 3, we will win, because that's kind of our mantra.
Get in here, let's go.
And you guys want to carry that through the season, do that. But tonight we're going to do 1, 2, 3, we will win. Parents, bring it in. We're all a team. All right. So here's to a good season, you guys. Playing for a bigger purpose. It's not just about baseball, it's about being good people and playing the sport with respect and respecting your coaches. So we will win on 3. 1, 2, 3.
We will win!
Win!
All right.
All right.
Hey.
So
Thank you for coming out.
oh, you're very welcome. That's very welcome.
Hey,
thank
just
you. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate
before we
that.
leave, we got 11 guys on this team, but we just want you to know you're always going to be our 12th man.
You got it, my man. Thank
All right,
you.
thank you
I'll be
for coming
coming
out. I
for sure.
appreciate it. And we also know that in the fight for, it's not just a fight against cancer, but during that process, we know that there's problems as far as fuel to get to the hospitals. There's treatments you have to get to. There's medical bills costing up. There's money that needs to be paid for food just every other day. So from our family to yours. Appreciate
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Thanks
I appreciate
for all
it
of us.
from all you
For
guys.
all the Roughnecks.
Thank you very much. But I got stickers, so let's get